everyone, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to a new video. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and let's go ahead and make some delicious comfort food. So we're starting off with pancakes because I think that is the most perfect comfort food breakfast. So I'm using an egg here. You can use a flax egg if you like, but I love eggs because they're full of all the essential amino acids. They're a source of protein and they just taste really good. And next up, I'm using some coconut milk. You want to use the canned coconut milk and only the thick part, so just make sure you do that. Half of a banana that I mashed up for a little bit of sweetness, as well as some apple cider vinegar, which is great for digestion, balancing your cholesterol. Some vanilla, which we know has some potent antioxidants. And then we are just going to whisk all of the wet ingredients together until you get like a nice smooth batter. This is important because you don't want like chunks of banana. You just want to make sure everything is nice and smooth so that your pancake batter is nice and even. And then I'm going to be adding in some coconut flour. You can try and sub with some almond flour. You're only using a tablespoon or a couple tablespoons rather, so it's not that much. But coconut flour is high in protein and fiber and makes these grain-free and paleo. Some cinnamon, which balances your blood sugar, which is also why I put it in my coffee, as well as some baking powder, which is just gonna help keep them fluffy and rise a little bit. And I like this one. This is the one I've used since I was like a little kid. I feel like my mom always had this one. Of course, taking my Star Wars spatula and then just mixing up our pancake batter. And what I love about this is that you can easily make them and then you keep them in the freezer and then just pop them in the toaster the morning of. So you can even make them on the weekend and have them during the week. Then I'm taking these Enjoy Life chocolate chips and I'm putting a few of those on top after I've cooked them, as well as some sliced banana, which is high in potassium. It helps boost your bone health and keeps you regular. And those are our banana chocolate chip pancakes. I love them. You can make a batch of these and then just eat them all week long, and they're the perfect comfort food. Lots of healthy fats, but they're paleo, gluten-free, and dairy-free. Next up, another comfort food you have to have is pizza. And I have nailed this paleo pizza crust. So I'm starting off with cassava, which is also called yucca root or yucca root. I find this in like my grocery store. I've seen it since I was little. So if you look or you ask, I'm sure you can find it. And I've seen this like even when I was in France. And it's a lot stickier than a potato. So you kind of just boil it you would a potato, and then mash it up. And then I'm putting it in a blender with some olive oil. You might be able to sub the yucca root or the cassava for potato. I haven't tried that, but you can try. And then putting in the olive oil full of nice healthy fats, a dash of Himalayan salt, which has 84 essential minerals in it and also helps balance the pH in your body. Once again, some coconut flour. We're not using much here, so you can probably just sub in a different kind of flour. It just kind of helps everything to bind it. Once again, high in protein, high in fiber, and some baking powder, which is just going to help give it like the crust rise a little bit and keep it nice and fluffy. Once I blend that up, you're going to have a sticky dough like this. So I'm putting it on a sheet of parchment paper just so that I can spread it out. Another way you can do this is you can put another sheet of parchment paper on the top and then use a rolling pin, but I'm just using my hands. And as you can see, the dough spreads quite easily, but you do want to make sure you put a little bit of olive oil on the bottom so that it doesn't stick, because it's not like a normal type of dough. You don't want to make sure it sticks. And then I'm going to bake that off before we top it for 10 minutes. Once it's done, I'm going to put on some tomato sauce. You can also do pesto. I think that would taste really good. And the reason it's broken is because, like, you know, when the dough rises and it gets like those bubbles, that's what happens. So you can prick it with a fork to stop this if you didn't forget like I did. So just prick it with a fork to stop the bubbles from happening. But this crust turned out honestly so good. And then I'm also putting on some cashew ricotta. I have made my own before, and I'm going to leave that down in the description box. In that video, I also made a paleo lasagna with like a zucchini noodles with this homemade cashew ricotta, but this is just one that I got at the farmer's market just to kind of save a little bit of time, and it was really good. But you can totally make your own, and I make my recipe all the time. It's really good. And honestly, my family in France, who eats like cheese all the time, do not like miss cheese at all. So that's how good it is. And then I'm topping it with a little bit of basil after it comes out of the oven. You want to make sure you do the basil afterwards because you don't want the basil to like wilt and get kind of gross. And basil is great because it helps with digestion and it also improves your immune system. And that is it. You can put whatever kind of toppings you like, but I'm one of those people who likes a really basic pizza. But this is paleo, it's grain-free. The crust is really easy to make compared to other gluten-free paleo ones, and it's delicious. Next up, we're making these almond butter drunken noodles. I love Thai food, and one of my favorite things are these drunken noodles, so I thought I would try to make my own kind of healthier sauce. So I'm starting off with a little bit of almond butter, and I prefer almond butter to peanut butter because it's lower in the glycemic index, and also with peanut butter, it has a lot of aflatoxins and mold when they grow, so you have to be careful not to consume too much peanut butter. Some broth, which I like, it adds a load of protein, as well as some coconut aminos, which are better for you than soy sauce, so I kind of just use it in place where I would use soy. A little bit of apple cider vinegar, as well as a little bit of maple syrup, which boosts your immune system and also gives it a little bit of sweetness to kind of balance out the almond butter and the coconut aminos. I'm going to whisk that over a medium heat until you kind of get like a smooth sauce. It comes together really easy and really quickly, so if you're like a fan of like Thai food or peanut sauces, I know you're gonna love this one. And then for the pasta, I'm actually using these new pasta low calorie pasta noodles. They're made with konjac root and it's only 25 calories. I mean, not that I count calories, but I love that these are lower in carb because all the carb comes from fiber, so it's no net carbs. So you literally just rinse them, they're pre-cooked, and then you heat them up and add them to whatever you like. I really, really like them. You can just Google Better Than Noodles or konjac noodles. Those are two like brands of noodles that I like. Just add them to the sauce and then kind of mix it up. I really like them. I know my friends really like these noodles as well, and I find they taste a lot better than those, like if you've seen those tofu shirataki noodles, these taste a lot better than those. Those are 0 calories. These are like 25. They taste really good. Or even if you want to do 50-50, I think that would be good with like normal pasta. I'm topping it with some slivered almonds just to add a little bit of crunch and a little bit of parsley to make it pretty. But those are like some super quick drunken noodles. It's like warm, it's pasta, it's comforting, it's amazing, and it tastes really good. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and follow me on Instagram for lots more recipes and something else exciting coming really soon, which I will probably announce in the next video. So stay tuned for that, and I'll see you next time. Bye.